Hey, what's up, everybody? It's BDF44 coming into another video. Okay, so we have a package, allegedly, I don't know if that's the right word for this, but a package rumored to be, that's the word, um, involving Russell Westbrook and the Lakers. I talked a little earlier about whether or not I would choose between Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, or either one of them, or neither. I ultimately went with neither in terms of trade, but I would feel more comfortable, to be honest, with Russell Westbrook than Chris Paul, just because of what I've seen out of Chris Paul makes me think that Father Time is catching up to him versus what I saw from Russell Westbrook. What looks like he's found his resurgence and is back to playing Russell Westbrook basketball, putting up the numbers that you know him to put up. Um, so I want to acquire either one of them, but just don't want to trade for either one of them. But if I were to choose Russell Westbrook, you got that point. All right, so now we are looking at Russell Westbrook possibly being on the move from the Washington Wizards, and one of the places they talk about is us, the LA Lakers. The package that we're hearing is Kyle Kuzma, Taylor Horton Tucker, the services of Dennis Schroeder, which I think would be a sign and trade, and that would be heading back to the Washington Wizards for Russell Westbrook. I don't know if there's anything else that would be coming back. I don't know if there's any other particulars that would make the deal make sense. Probably, in most cases, there is some stuff that would be flying around, but that's the gist of it. And to be completely honest with you, I'm okay with the deal. My problem is THT. I don't want to give up THT. I don't want to do that. But those other two pieces, of course, I'm happy to give those guys away for less than Russell Westbrook, to be completely honest with you. I like Kyle Kuzma to a degree, but he's not what I thought. After 5 years of watching him play, I'm certain he's not what I thought. So I'm cool with moving on. And Dennis Schroeder, I don't think will be back, so that's not a problem at all. So that's my thing. I'm happy with that. I don't know if THT holds up the deal, though. I'm not going to lie to you. If it comes down to it, they say this is what it is. Either you take it or leave it. I don't know that he holds up the deal. Um, I think that much of Russell Westbrook on this team as it pertains to him being able to give us some real LeBron James insurance. And I know that's a weird person to bring in as LeBron James insurance, but that's exactly what he is. If Braun goes down with another injury, Westbrook can help us sustain if we build properly around him and AD. And I look at him as somebody who, he's a one-man band, so you don't really need Braun to do so much this year. Um, but he also comes off as somebody, Westbrook, who, if he's not in the right fit, can be much less of what you need him to be. He's a bad shot selector historically, and if he doesn't have the ball in his hands, orchestrating everything absolutely to a T, he is not as effective. Washington is one of the places where they allow him to just have his own team, basically. And, Bradley Beal plays off of him, and it works like that. So I don't know that this is a good fit for Russell Westbrook for the Lakers because of his inability to shoot the ball very well consistently from behind the arc. We need more shooting, not less, so we would need a lot more work to do on our roster other than just bring him in. We still got to figure out what we're going to do with our center position. So I just wonder if Russell Westbrook coming in kind of pulls us away from having this flexibility cap-wise to be able to really do the things that we need to do to keep our team strong. Size is important, speed is important, shooting is most important, and we need to continue to build for that. So I don't know that this is a very good move in terms of making sure that we are contending properly. Now, of course, will we be a contender? Of course, we're a contender without this move. But does this give us the best fit, or are we doing this for different types of reasons? And that's what I was talking about. Like, you want to see Russell Westbrook win a championship. You see what's going on in Brooklyn. You want to give him a fighting chance. It's like he's on the other side of this. Clearly, the Thunder history and all of that. You just want to see him on a winning team so you have a chance to beat those guys. So do I think this gives him that? Absolutely. Ideal for him storyline-wise in every way, shape, and form. It brings him home back to L.A. He's never played for L.A. To win a championship in his hometown when it doesn't look like he has any path to a championship would be one of the greatest stories that we've seen. Coming off of the Chris Paul, Giannis story, it would be great to see Russell Westbrook, the King, and AD versus the Brooklyn Nets and all of his old cronies over there. So the NBA should be very happy if we pull this off. So that's one reason why I could say you might be doing this for the wrong reasons. That would be one of the wrong reasons in terms of basketball structuring the roster. That's not the best way to structure a roster. Trying to build your team around sentiment and storylines. Especially when you're going up against young teams that are starting to put together a lot of size. I look at some of the teams that we're going to have to see down the road. They're big. Philly, Brooklyn, Milwaukee. I'm imagining Phoenix is going to do something about putting some size down there. Minnesota's got a lot of size right now. You see teams like, San Antonio. I'm sure it's going to do something that's going to make sure they have a bigger player down there. A bunch of teams, you name it. The Clippers are big. They're all a bunch of teams out there that value size these days. It's not just a bunch of little guys running around. So we need to make sure that we continue to value size as well. So that's I'm big on that today. Been thinking about that a lot. So yeah, as far as Russell Westbrook now, if he comes in and he's able to fit in defensively, I wonder what he gives you. Like I said, his shot selection can be kind of funny, but I just love the idea of him and LeBron James in the fast break. I love the idea of someone trying to figure out who to guard. When you have a guy like Russell Westbrook, triple-double every night, rebounds the ball better than everybody else at that position. He can get a bunch of assists, so you're going to see easy buckets for guys like Anthony Davis. LeBron James gets to play off the ball quite a bit and be a presence for Russell Westbrook to play off of. Even in the half-court settings, I think it'll cut down on some of the mistakes that Russell Westbrook tends to make when you have a guy like LeBron James for him on the team to bail him out and kind of create some things on the fly as possessions start to expire. See, that's the thing about Russell Westbrook. He tends to over-dribble a lot. In certain situations, even though it does convert, you'll end up having possessions that just kind of drag out a little longer than they should. I think LeBron could be the great antithesis to that within the offense, because what ends up happening is you get the ball to LeBron James from Russell Westbrook, and things will be he'll be able to settle things down and create things on the fly. So I love the idea of those two facilitators on the floor, particularly playing off of one another. It's an intriguing fit, and that it's growing on me the more I think about it. But the issue is, and it's going to always be, is spacing. With respects to Russell Westbrook, his shooting woes are going to be a problem for the LA Lakers. Anthony Davis doesn't shoot the three like that, even though he's very good shooting the ball everywhere. LeBron James, same exact thing. Those are shot makers, not shooters. Russell Westbrook does not shoot well. Already, I've named 3 players that are not shooters on this team. And you consider, depending on what we're able to do with the roster, the other 2 players on our team that we're talking about may not be shooters either. They may be shot makers. Who knows what we'll be able to put together on this team. Hopefully, we can find some Evan Fourniers or some type of JJ Redick or something to put on this damn team and give us some shooting. But that's what we need. If we're going to get a Russell Westbrook, we need guys like, believe it or not, and I know this is going to sound funny, Kyle Kuzma. This is the problem with what I'm seeing here, even though I'm very ready to get rid of Kyle Kuzma. The moves that the Lakers are talking about making are moves that benefit the player style of Kyle Kuzma. The problem that we've had with Kyle Kuzma is he has been misdiagnosed as a player who can create for himself. He can, in certain situations, create for himself because he's a very talented player, particularly in the open court. He really is. I think we've kind of gotten lost in that. But if you put him in a fast-paced offense where he's running a lot, he's going to excel. He's got more explosiveness than people realize. No major leg injuries to my knowledge at all. So I think Kyle Kuzma is a guy who just needs to build strength. And once he does that, he needs to be on a team with somebody who's going to set him up properly. LeBron James and he do not play off each other like they should. It just is what it is. They don't fit like they should. He needs a more traditional point guard setting him up. Someone who's not playing in the same position he is. Someone traditional. That's just how Kyle Kuzma rolls. He plays best when Lonzo Ball's on the team. You're talking about bringing Lonzo Ball back. You're talking about bringing in a Russell Westbrook. These are guys that are who benefit off of having guys like Kyle Kuzma on their team. That's what I'm here to tell you. Not that I want to keep Kyle Kuzma, but you're going to be trading him away from a situation that's better for him than probably any situation he's been in on this Lakers squad. which is the only team he's ever played for. But what I'm saying, this is the best roster for him going forward if we bring back Zoe, bring back Westbrook, bring in Westbrook, etc. So with that being said, we got to find another Kuzma. We're going to need to find what we thought Kuzma would be. And I look at guys that around the league, I've heard Robert Covington's name. If we could grab Robert Covington, that would be a great addition to our squad. I think he's perfect for what we're trying to do. Defensive guy, even though he turns the ball over a little more than I like, he's definitely the type of guy that you can bring in if you were to have in a Westbrook who can shoot the ball consistently, play defense phenomenally. He's definitely on my wish list. I just think he's lost his values down. Lost in Portland, that is. His values kind of down. People kind of have forgotten about who he is, but he's the type of guy where I think if he's on his team, boy, do we have the shooting that we need. As you heard me mention guys like Evan Fournier, stuff like that. We need to find those players to replace Kyle Kuzma in the event that we bring in a Russell Westbrook. That's what I'm saying to you. And I really want to keep THT for that same reason. I look at THT as a big-time shot maker in the making. Someone who can also create for others, who also can play point guard very comfortably. And I look at THT and I say, look, LeBron James handpicked that guy. This was LeBron James's guy. And he hasn't disappointed at all. Nothing about THT game is telling us that the upside is falling off like maybe Kyle Kuzma's. There's nothing in this situation that makes us think that this guy isn't going to be somebody you got to pay about $75 to $100 million someday. It's going to happen because of his skill set and his ability to shoot shots dead in people's faces. He can play in a half-court setting. He has incredibly long arms, so he's fantastic affecting things defensively. He plays with his body, meaning that he doesn't mind banging with people. He's a good free throw shooter. He has step-back moves, three-point moves, all types of scoop shots underneath the basket. This is somebody who I'm reluctant to give up. And as I said, I don't know that he holds up the trade for a Hall of Fame great like Russell Westbrook in a win-now situation like the Lakers, especially with that storyline attached to it. But I just would love to find a way to not move THT in this deal. Kuzma, bye. Schroeder, bye. Can we keep THT? Is there a way we can maybe package up something else to make that work? I know THT's the hot commodity, and that's why I don't want to let him go, because I value him that much too. And I don't think we should be giving him away if we can get away with it. So that's the thing. That's the thing, man, you know. And then I look around and I say, okay, can we do better than Westbrook? Can we do better than Westbrook? Is Dame available? Is Bradley available? You know, if we're going to do a deal with the Washington Wizards, I'm trying to bring back Bradley before I bring back Westbrook. Younger, fits better with AD and Bron. Common sense tells me that he's going to continue to make all-star teams regardless of what team he's on because he's that elite offensively. He does have some injury issues here and there, but I value him more than I value Westbrook, especially on a team like this. So I don't know. Like, can we do better? That's my thing with Russell Westbrook. I love the storyline. I love the LA reference. I love the player himself and the energy that he brings. And boy, does he put up the stats, man. He gonna break records as a Laker. I promise. He gonna put up some of the best stats we've seen ever. Triple doubles. I guarantee it. But you know, best since Magic. He'll probably be the best triple double player we've seen since Magic on this team. But when it comes down to playoff situations, are we going to lose because this dude is taking bad shots? That's my question. Are we going to lose because he goes 1 for 7 shooting a 3? Because that's not, I'll be screaming at my TV. You know what I mean? I can't see myself wanting that dynamic on this team. You know, you're going to live and die with a guy like Westbrook, and he's the type of personality to where he ain't going to look at LeBron James and say, I'm going to defer to you. He ain't going to look at AD and say, I'm deferring to nobody. I'm pushing the ball. I could be playing with Jesus and MJ and Kobe and Spirit, all of them. Westbrook's going to push the ball, period. So as far as I'm concerned, that could be a dynamic that could work against us, especially with Frank Vogel, who's not really a confrontational coach. Somebody's going to have to be able to manage all of those super duper personalities. And I think Russell Westbrook is a very, very interesting one to bring into this combination of players. Now, AD and Bron are two of the most humble superstars you're going to find. And I think this environment is going to be fantastic because it's LA sunshine and Westbrook is home. And I think he's going to wear that purple and gold with a certain level of pride, and I think he's going to give us everything he has and a bit more than that. So I'm not certain that it would be bad at all bringing him in for the playoffs, but I'm looking at it from schematic standpoint of 3 max players. How do you fill out the rest of the roster? Is this the best way to fill out the roster? And I don't see enough shooting possibilities for us to do that. I don't see enough center quality situations to where we can get good centers. I think we should probably try to get one of those centers in whatever trade we do for whomever we are trading for. Make sure you bring back somebody's big. And then that's what I have to say. So I just don't know. Like, would the Wizards be willing to give us one of those guys they just got from Chicago? Because I would love to have somebody that they have on that trade. You know, to be honest with you, I can't think of those guys' names right now, but they both impressed the heck out of me. I would want to bring back one of them if I'm giving up Kyle Kuzma. You know what I'm saying? So that's where my mind goes. How can we supplement what we're losing? What's up with Alex Caruso? That's another thing. I don't love him and Russell Westbrook. That's too much non-shooting down there. And Caruso's one of my favorite players. I want to keep him. But you're doubling down on the lack of shooting with the limited cap space when you have a player like that next to another player like that. It's just, don't get it twisted. They play well together. Don't think that I'm saying that Caruso and Westbrook don't play well together. I'm just saying that if Caruso's going to be your backup point guard behind Russell Westbrook, what you have is 2 guys that don't shoot. And look, shot makers. That doesn't mean that they won't take the 3 and make the 3. That just means that consistently they're not going to make the 3. And that's a problem. That's a big problem. So the fit's funny, man. The fit's funny. I know that Rob Pelinka has a plan, but last year's plan failed. And I'm just worried that we're starting off on the wrong foot with kind of some of the directions that it appears that we are going for this last hurrah for LeBron James in a Laker uniform. I don't think he's going to leave, to be honest with you, but I can see him retiring in 2 years. I really can. I can see this being the second to last round. Now, I can also see him sign another 4-year deal. So don't think I'm trying to predict anything, but I'm just saying we have got to assume that we only have 2 years left with Braun, and we got to make sure this one counts. That's really what I'm saying. So we'll see, man. We'll see. As you can see, I'm thinking this through. Still kind of like, I don't know, you know, the storyline sentiment, the LA thing, it works for me. Seeing Westbrook get some revenge against KD and James Harden for not allowing him to be the guy that they go for instead of Kyrie. I like that. I don't even know if that's real, but I like that storyline. So it's like, it's intriguing for us fans to see Westbrook play with Braun. It's something that we've probably been wanting to see, a lot of us, since 2005. You know what I mean? Can you imagine if they would have been in their primes playing together, their whole careers? They'd have like 6 wins already, probably both of them. So it's like, yeah, you want to see that. I definitely want to see that. But can I be honest? Is it possible we may be a couple years too late to see them dominate like that? I don't know. You know, I love AD. I think AD's going to be a contender wherever he is. So the team he's on is definitely going to be a contender. But that dynamic, does that really scare people in 2021, 2022? Like, let's say I'm a super team that's developed over the next couple years, over the next couple months rather. Let's say we put together a brand new super team, are those young players afraid of Anthony Davis, LeBron James, or Russell Westbrook right now? Don't it hit different if that's Dame Lillard? I think that hits a little different if it's Bradley Beal. I could be tripping. I don't know. But I'm looking at the Bucks, who just ran through the Suns, and even though I do believe we would give them hell if they had this to go up against, I don't know that Giannis and Middleton fear that. I don't know that they fear that like they would need to in my mind. So I don't know. What I'm saying is, in a 7-game series between the Milwaukee Bucks, who just won the championship, and us with Russell Westbrook and no shooting, I don't know that we win that series. I'm not gonna be front. I don't know that. So that's along the lines of where I'm thinking, man. That's where I'm at. Thank you guys for watching. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen here. For all I know, this may not even be a real possibility. But the source that's been talking about this it's one that's been right in the past. So I figured it would be worth talking about. So thank you guys for watching again. BDF 44.